Good afternoon, everybody. This is a Monday, Bank Holiday Monday. What time are we at? We're at 1:25. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. I have a great man right next to me here. I'm going to interview this afternoon. I call him, he's called the real Chris Burgess. That's what his email is, but I'm going to call him the great Chris Burgess because he's a great guy. He's very warm and I can feel this energy from him, you know, and he is an energy healer. So I'm really looking forward to interviewing Chris this afternoon. And Chris has got so much about him, so much to tell you, so much depth to his life and what he's done and all his experiences. So my name's Frankie, I'm known as the Wise Entrepreneur, and I'm going to interview Chris, and I want you to hear, and Chris is going to share all his experiences of his life and what he does to actually help people to become better in their lives and transform their life and live a happy and creative life. So, good afternoon, Chris. How are you, my good friend?
Good afternoon to you. That's the best introduction I've ever had. Really, I'll live up to it. Yes, I mean, really speaking, I mean, to talk about me, as you can see, I'm above 21 years of age. And early life, when I was a child, I mean a child, I'm talking about 2.5, 3, even if that. And I could always sense people, what they were going to do and what they were going to say. I couldn't understand why they were nasty to other people. It was just, even anything. Why? And also, why are they talking to me like I'm a dope? In other words, instead of talking normal to a child, it's like, doody-doody-doo-doo, you know, and I'm looking at something, you know, get real. But that was just me. And really, with my children, and I spoke to them like as though they could understand the Oxford English Dictionary, because then they learned more and they had a proper conversation. So that was one of the things I learned at a very young age. When I was probably 6, 7, again, it was you call it a spiritual thing, but it's universal energy. You can call it many names. And I could always again anticipate that something was going to happen to somebody, and you'd get in there and stop it. So that was the early part of my life. Then I went into martial. I was doing martial arts when I was about 10, and I could always find that I could always anticipate what they were going to do. And in judo, then you didn't hurt anybody; you just put them down and pull the jacket up so they didn't bash themselves too hard. And I always found that I could go in to a movement, and then when I found out later in life, they were advanced movements that they taught to black belts. But I could always do it anyway, but wouldn't harm people. Then really, probably when I was about, we left school early then, I was 15, and I went into electronics. Now, electronics is energy, negative, positive. If you've got that one, which is yang, they call it yang now, yang energy and yin energy, you need a balance of it. If that's down there and that's up there, or whichever, you're in balance, so it causes you to worry or have stress and other emotional problems. So balance is really the in thing. So I read up on all these spiritual healers, etc., and so on, even then, when I was in probably 15 and onwards. And there was a guy called Edgar Casey, they call him the sleeping prophet. What he used to do is just lie there, right? And these things would come to him. So I had this young woman, I don't know whether it was his wife or not, writing it all down. Right. Now, if you look up Edgar Casey, there's a whole raft of stuff he did. One of the things he did was, there's a couple come to him about the sun, and the sun was like, whoa, really gone, you know, in a bad state mentally. And they used to lock him up, make sure he was upstairs. And he went to Edgar Casey, and he gave him always said, yeah, go to such and such a chemist in your state, not even where he was, and get such and such a, whatever the thing was now, I can't remember the name of the homeopathic thing.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, so they went into the apothecary in America, in their state, and said, we want such and such and such a thing, the name of it. And he went, okay, looked all over the shelves, couldn't find it. So they went back to Edgar Casey, and they said, obviously he's in the outstate again, and they said, look, we went to the chemist, you know, apothecary or whatever they call them, homeopath, and he said he hasn't got it. He said, tell him to look on the 7th shelf, because in them days you had shelves right up to the blinking skyline, you know. 7th shelf, it's in between such a bottle and such a bottle in the right-hand corner. So they went back, got the bottle, give it to the lad, one day, and he was right as ninepence. Now, if that's not spiritual type stuff or energetic stuff, I don't know what it is. So I was interested, read a lot on that, you know. So am I rattling on too much?
No, that was great, Chris. I mean, what I liked about you, Chris, you talked about how you have, because I know energy, you cannot break energy. So energy goes on in our lives from start right until we pass on to the next life. So energy is really positive, Chris, You say when you was younger, you had a lot of energy. Would you call that the sixth sense, Chris? Because I know that a lot, we have it, but we just learn to nurture it, don't we, and learn to practice it as we're getting older.
Yeah, I had both. I had physical energy and a sixth sense energy, you could call it, now, because with the energy, I was always very, very fit as well, because I was top athlete, and obviously, I mean, you look at me now, I think, top athletes in the area where I am in the northwest of England, and we used to go and compete with all the other areas. We used to win in the techniques we had anyway. That was mainly for sprinting, and with me it was long jump. I held the record for the bloody long jump when I was about 17 or something, you know, and it was like not the record for 17, it was the record for everybody. So energetic wise, I was inclined physically as well as mentally, but at the time I didn't know it was spiritual, because obviously it was only a lad. Then what I found in the electronic business is that in my day, forgive me because it's all chips and little micro things, there's more in the phone now than was in an IBM bloody computer from the 60s even. So what they had discrete components. So they'd have a transistor, a resistor, a coil, a transformer, a capacitor. And what you do is you trace right the way back till you found the one component. Now the picture might be going like this, up and down, or collapsed, or the sound was blah, 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 blah. So what you'd be doing is check that, that's okay, check that, that's okay, check that, that's okay, check that, get to the one component, change it, perfect picture, perfect sound. Now people are exactly the same. If they've got a problem, it's been induced into them from wherever, could be childhood, could be a major shock, and that's retained in the body. And then the mind tries to process it, oh, you need that pain. We don't want you to take the pain away. So the technique I use now is to ask the questions, find out what is ailing them, whichever way, it could be anything, and then correct it, but give them the method of correcting it so they don't have to see me again, they're fixed. So that's one thing like that, you know. But when I got in, sorry?
I know you've done some methods with me as well, haven't you, Chris? You know, you talked about, you know, like the tinnitus and some of my illnesses like my arthritis and stuff like that, what I do have. And like you said, Chris, from a young age, from listening to loud music, you know, working with machinery, you know, as I've got older, you know, tinnitus affects me. And you taught me some soothing remedies and some soothing sort of like spiritual techniques, which I feel have really helped me. What I'd like to ask you, Chris, you've got some really spiritual techniques, haven't you? What you do to help people self with high blood pressure, you know, illnesses or mental anxieties. Would you like to show us what you actually do, Chris? Some of the techniques, some of the wordings.
One of the things you just mentioned with tinnitus, you see, tinnitus is, there's a thing called beating a drum, and then there's all kinds of different things to do. But one of the things with anything to do with your head, favorite thing is people with migraine or bad headaches, right? And all they've got to do, right, is close. And this they can have had them for blooming donkey's years. You can have had them for most of the life, and a lot of young women, because fellas just don't crack on; they just carry on with the blooming things. But it affects a lot of young ladies. And I think one of the reasons for that is the corpus callosum in the brain, right down the centre of the brain, left and right brain, is bigger in women than it is in men. So whether that's created a bigger problem with women with headaches, I do not know. But all I do is tell them how to fix it. And it's very simple. You just sit there, you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you make the sound in a downward direction, because you're dredging all the rubbish out of your brain area. You've got a thing in here called the pineal gland, and it's rattling away at that, which takes that away. You do it for 9 times, that's all. So, as an example, there's a guy called, I'll tell you later about Ebbinghouse's cavity sensitive fit you in with this. If you say it 9 times, it's gone. If you say it 3 times, it goes, but then the brain's going, oh yeah, give me it back in a few minutes time or whatever. So you, even though it's, say you get to 9 or even 2, and it's gone, don't go, it's gone. Carry on with the 9, and it's repetitive, gone. So do that. So that's one thing. You said about heart problems.
Yeah. Is it when we go cha? Is it when we do cha?
Nearly right. I like that. Hey, you said me do it once. Right. Get your hands like this, so your palms are sort of there. Now, what you do is you bring your hands together, put your palms downwards. And as you breathe, again, it's the same thing 9 times. Downwards. So what you do is you bring your, if you can't stand up when you've got high blood pressure, don't worry about it. You don't have to stand up. If you can stand up, smashing. So what you do is when you bring your hands down, you bring them down to your pubic bone. So I'll stand up so you can't see my pubic bone. But so in other words, you start here at the throat level, and you push down to the sides. Then you bring your arms out with the palms still facing, and then across with the palms down. Do that 9 times. Now there's a woman I went to many years ago, a friend of mine, he said, oh, they can't do anything for my wife, and she was having nosebleeds and God knows what with this high blood pressure. So I went there and showed her that once, cleared it. She never had any problems with it. And literally, her nose would bleed and everything with the high blood pressure. So that does work, that one. The other thing which is probably useful is fingers of your hands are end meridians. So if you've got grief, sadness, see the thumb, put your hand around I don't know if you can see this okay, but there's, obviously I'll put my hand like this. You have your hand down actually, but not so much, showing so. Thumb, grip, fist. And what you do is you pull it and flick it into the air. I'll tell you about the earth in a minute. Other thumb, because you'll be balancing both sides, yin and yang. And that one down, and bin it. So you do that again 9 times to get that. Now, if you've got fear, say you're going to do public speaking, and that's the biggest fear in the world, believe it or not. The next biggest fear is the fear of dying. So what they're actually saying is the guy or the woman who's doing the eulogy at the funeral would rather be in the box themselves. They're that frightened. But it is, and that's universal. America and England and the continent. Fear of public speaking. So little finger and here, you just rub it downwards. So there's your first nail, of course. There's the knuckle joint, and on the outside of it, you rub it downwards. So you can use your thumb like that. Sorry, like that if you like, or you can use your finger like that. I prefer the thumb because it's a combination of grief element, the lungs, and this one is the end meridian for the heart. We've got a thing called a pericardium, which covers your heart protector. So there's a point there for that, and that's called a loud point or a balancing point. So in other words, yang and yin, and you do this, it fixes the blooming thing, you know. So
that's great, Chris. Thanks for that information.
That's
it's very valuable.
I'm trying to think of some other ones. Oh yeah, this is one I think it's essential for people to do now. Forgive me, but it works. Right. We've got this COVID-19 fiasco going around because they've made a total bloody mess of it. All governments, not just the British government. Now, what they found is that if you've got a really good immune system, like children, they don't get it. Why? Because their immune system, boom, anything new, let's kill it. Well, in the main, I mean, some poor little souls get cancer and God knows what, like, but in the main, little children, they get a blooming good immune system because they're lively and everything else. Now, obviously, as people deteriorate with age, right, here, just here, as you go down from your collarbone, underneath the collarbone, as it goes into the sternum, is an acupressure point, kidney 27. And as you come down this side, right, kidney 27, if you feel it with your finger like that, you feel a sore spot, but it's under the collarbone as it comes into your sternum, your breastbone, right? So you do that. And then this other one, you come down here, goes into there, right? So the movement for this is your, your thymus gland. Now you should think your thymus gland, it stopped growing after you're about 12. So doctors at one time, donkeys years ago, used to cut it out, things like useless anyway. They found that that is the most important part of your immune system. So you get your fist, and you don't hurt yourself. You're here, so it's just about here. 1, 2, 3. 3 thumbs on the thymus gland. Here, you cross your hands over because you're yin and yang again. So here, get that sore spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then this one here to balance the yang elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now then you feel under your arm here and you find a sore spot, that's gallbladder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here, other side, same gallbladder on the other meridian. Amazing. The meridians go down 9. Yeah. Then when you've done that, here where your nipples are, just here you'll find a sore spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one on the other side you'll find a sore spot under your nipple. It's a bit different for ladies because they got a bra which is in the way sometimes, right on the sore spot, so it's difficult, but fellas don't care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when you've done that sequence, so it's 1 here, 2, 3, right, then what you do is you get your hands like this, palms down again, and rotate them that way, so they're facing you, and just brush down all the meridians down the front of your body, again to your pubic bone. And as you come out of the sides, I'll do this, you have your hands like that, you see, or like that. So you don't have them up, you don't have them down. So when you just bring them round, and then bring them into here, and down again. So it's breathe in, breathe out. And you can breathe out through your mouth and nose, doesn't matter what it is best. Again, 9 times. So if you want to contact Frankie, I'll send Frankie that movement because sometimes you've got to practice it, you see. I'm going to say Ebbinghaus curve of retention. He was a psychologist, psychiatrist in about 1800 or something, and he brought out the fact that if you do a thing once, right, after 7 days, the retention of it is 5%. In other words, say you're reading the documents or you're doing something.
Right.
If you repeat it every day for 7 days or 7 times, it could be 7 weeks, couldn't it? You're doing a bit this week, then you do the same the next week, and you read it again and again. After 7 repeats, you have roughly 95% of retention. I've got a thing for that, by the way. I might come English because as you can see, I'm a bit bloody cracked anyway. So if you can see that, everybody, that's the curve, Ebbinghaus curve. Yeah. So I didn't do this. This fella did this blinking, nearly 100 years ago. Yeah. Anybody got that? Yeah.
That's great.
Okay. Now this is the, yeah. Sorry, mate.
All right.
This is the retention one.
Wow.
So see when you do it. In other words, this top bit here is you're retaining 90% of it. There's a little graph there. I don't know if you can see it, but you can find this on the internet. Ebbinghaus curve of retention, it's called.
Valuable information there, Chris. Wow. Yeah. I'm feeling better already with doing some of the names.
Yeah, to me, to put it in a nutshell, one size doesn't fit all. So there's good things and everything. You've heard of Reiki, yeah? Reiki healing. Yeah, so that's a set way of healing. There's spiritual healing where they just put the hands on you like that and call it a spirit in a penalty to do the right thing. And then there's EFT, emotional freedom technique, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, acupressure,
emotional intelligence.
Well, I've studied all of these. I've got a master's diploma in clinical hypnosis. Obviously, I'm a practitioner for NLP and EFT. And
give us your details, Chris. I'm sure the guys would love to have your details on where they can find you, my friend. Yeah, because obviously we've really enjoyed talking to you today. Just what details? Where can people get hold of you, Chris?
Oh, for me,
yeah,
just email me. It's the best bet. Yeah, because it depends where you live. I mean, if you're living in blinking America, I mean, I'm seeing a young lady later from America on what's name, because she did have some major problems which have shifted. Well, apparently something else has occurred now. There's a while back, like, you know. And yeah, so if you want me, do you want me to give me email address now? Yeah,
you can just call out your email address. Yeah, that'd be great, Chris. And Facebook or any social media sites, what we can get you on, that'd be absolutely fantastic.
It's the THE Real REAL Chris Burgess. Burgess is BURGESS at gmail.com. So it's the real Chris Burgess at gmail.com.
Chris, thank you so much. It's been really valuable, mate. Yeah, I know how good you are at what you do. Thanks for sharing that information. I'm sure there's a lot of people who'll be really plugging into what you do.
I'll give them some other little techniques. But the main one, if you email me, then I can probably send the email to you with the, 19999 and then 99 and then down 9 times. It takes you 3 minutes in the morning and it boosts your immune system. So
thank you so much.
The other one, if you want me mobile, it's obviously for England there'll be a different lead on it, and from America it's again, I don't know what the thing is, but it's 07950 469 184. So it's 07950 469 184, and the numbers before that depends on what country you're ringing from.
Thank you for that, Chris. My name's Frankie Kington. Obviously, this is my YouTube channel. I'm on Member. That's my portfolio. It's memby.com/Frankie-Kington. Have a look at my Memby site. I've got loads of information and techniques and skills for you on there. And it gives you a portfolio of what I do. As you know, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm very wise. And as you can see, Chris is as well. And you can get me on Facebook, Empowering Youth Development, Inspiring Voice, and my own personal profile.
Oh, yeah.
And Instagram as well.
Get me on that. What's the name? Obviously, as you can see, Grace says in the quill pen area. The other one is the one you got me on before. Is it Zoom? Not Zoom. What was it? I'm trying to think of the one you got me on. WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, yeah. We're on WhatsApp as well.
I'm on WhatsApp as well. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that might be better for these technical young people.
So thank you anyway, guys, for really tuning into my YouTube channel today. I hope you really enjoyed Chris. I know I have. So thank you, Chris, for being on my YouTube channel. Really pleasure having you here, sharing everything what you need, your techniques, your skills, and your expertise to help so many people like you do. Thanks again, Chris. My warmest wishes to you. I know I'll be seeing you very, very soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Warmest wishes to you all.
Yeah, thanks.
If you like this video, give us a comment, notification, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you all soon, guys. Thank you and take care. Bye bye now. Thank you, Chris.
Cheers.